welcome to another edition of winemastery.co.uk.
You took me by surprise.
Oh, I did. I thought I'd make a change.
Should we go with some
Yeah, let's go. So this is episode number 20, part 2. We're talking about rosé wines. Had a nice, beautiful little rosé to begin with, and now we're moving on to something with a little bit more.
Yeah,
Je ne sais quoi.
a little bit more about it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we went for. We had the Zinfandel, which you'll have seen in part 1 there. So we're now moving up and going back to one of my favourite countries. I know I taste wine from these guys fairly frequently, and we're going to Chile.
Hey!
Hey! Do you like that?
I know, yeah.
Now, the Grand Hacienda is the name of this one, and this is actually, it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. I know. Now, remember, as we were saying earlier, about kind of, people think that all rosés are sweet, and it's not true. In fact, I'd probably say 90% of the rosés I sell now are on the drier side.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know, talking about that kind of time of year, and, you know, with it being really nice and warm outside, and people's kind of tastes do change when the sun is shining. I know, you know, as it gets cooler, people go for the big red wines, and as it's getting kind of warmer, people go for the white ones. But a lot of people, I mean, myself included.
Thank you, sir.
Although I do love a white wine, I like it to have a bit of power, and what we get with some of the rosés nowadays is you kind of get the kind of lightness of that white wine, but with the power of a red. Now, it's not to that full extent, but we are moving a little bit up. Now, as we explained in part 1, you know, basically, the colour just comes from the grape skin, and that's all we've got from here. Cabernet Sauvignon, which is, you know, a red, or they've got a black grape, will give out just the ordinary white, crikey, I'm stumbling. We'll give out the white juice, but they leave the skins in here just a little bit, just not for long. I couldn't tell you exactly how long for, just to impart that little bit of colour. But what you also get with that imparts a little bit more flavour as well, so you're not getting that kind of wishy-washy. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say about a rosé, but you're not getting a very light, easy-going one. So, this is a Cab Sauv from Chile.
Okay.
Now we're going to give this a go. You can see it's a little bit deeper in colour then. It's still not really dark, but then you don't want your rosé to be that dark.
Would the Cab Sauv grapes be exactly the same as they'd make a normal Cab Sauv? So exactly the same sort of
exactly the same, yeah.
plants. Okay.
See, it's got a lot more. I could probably recognise that as being a Cabernet Sauvignon as well, because immediately what I thought there was a lot of fruit going through, and that I would describe that as jammy, and that's how I would describe a Cabernet Sauvignon in general. There's so many kind of red berries in there. That's making my mouth water a little bit. Is that? I'm going to go ahead and have a go at that.
Okay. I'll resist. 2 seconds.
You did well. The immediate thing we're noticing there is how much drier that is compared to the Zinfandel. It's a lot drier. There's no real sweetness there at all.
It's tastes more like a white than it does a red.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have that. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to get to that power. Of the red wine, but it's still got more than you get from a white.
Yes. So
it kind of ticks a lot of boxes, especially if you don't. You know, if it is a nice summer's day and you're out in the garden, you don't want to be drinking a big red, depending on how, you know, what you like. But this is a nice kind of crossover. It has got that, I'm going to repeat myself, the lightness of a white, but with a little bit extra, which I definitely want.
Would you eat anything with this particular one?
Yeah, this would take on definitely kind of seafood dishes, definitely.
Okay.
So, but again, you're not going to go too, again, white meat, the chicken kind of thing, but you wouldn't go too far with this. Well, you could put it with the red meat, but not many, I wouldn't say. Okay. Again, you're looking lighter lamb perhaps, but... See, that for me, again, it does have a bit more power, and I could get stuck into that. It's not too light that it's got nothing going on.
No.
And those red berries could definitely come through in the flavour. Perhaps not quite as strawberry-ish as we had with the Zinfandel there. But again, it has got what I would associate with a Cabernet Sauvignon, with that kind of lip licking.
Lip smacking.
That's it, and I've only had 2 glasses.
I must say, I'm lost on tasting these compared to the reds and whites, which you've groomed me in.
Yes.
I'm sort of starting to recognise, but this is like you're tasting red berries. I'm not getting those.
See, it does taste like almost sweetest to me as well, like a stereotypical kind of opal fruit kind of sweetie.
Yeah.
It's got
I
that.
can get that on the nose.
Yeah, even Skittles. I don't know how to say, but bags of fruit in there.
Of course, if anyone's watching this in Kansas, they're going to wonder what on earth you're doing eating Skittles.
Why? What's wrong with that? Did they not have Skittles in Kansas? Did they not?
No.
I didn't know that.
No.
Why?
Why? They don't make them over there. They call them something else.
Oh, Skittles are one of my favourites. I feel sorry for you. Try a Cabernet Sauvignon Rosé, you'll know what you're missing out on. No, that you can. And it is that dry edge as well that makes it for me. Because the sweetness, sometimes when you're drinking the sweet wines, they can remain a little bit there and that cloyiness, so your first couple of glasses are alright, but when you're getting down to the end of the bottle, you're just left with that cloyy sweetness. But this, I can handle a bottle of that.
Yeah, I could.
And I think it's more, there's more parties after, like the Zinfandel didn't have much going, afterwards as such. You got the strawberries, that was about it, but this is still going quite strong.
Having said that, I think if it was a hot evening, I would prefer the one we tried in part 1.
Okay.
In terms of being refreshing, leaving a sort of cleaner palate afterwards, and so.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe this for the sort of as we're getting towards those chilly evenings, which we get a lot of in the UK.
We do. Yeah, but perhaps again, it is a mood thing. We're all different.
Yeah.
But I could happily power through a bottle of that.
Good, excellent. Well, and this is I think stronger than the last one.
It is indeed. Well, this is 13.5%.
And the other one, in part 1, it was 9, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I think that it does show as well. Well, there's the definite difference between
the
two.
Sweetness.
The sweetness, as
I'm
we
not
said.
suggesting you should just have it because it's got more alcohol content and just relating to the sweetness.
You wouldn't do that, would you?
I wouldn't do that. Me?
Me? No, definitely not. Oh. I can enjoy that.
Yes.
I am enjoying it.
You are enjoying it. He doesn't want to go on to part 3. He's enjoying part 2's wine more.
Well, I don't know, part 3.
Yeah?
Yeah, part 3. I'm looking forward to part 3.
Okay, well let's get to part 3 then. We'll see you there. Chin chin.
Chin chin.